I would like to call the Flint Board of Education call to order. The time is 6:30 p.m. Board members, as I call your name, please reply present for the public record. Vice President Green. Mr. Del Marone.
Present.
Mr. Gilbert.
Present.
Mr. Walker.
Present.
And myself, Carol McIntosh, present. Board members absent is McNeil and McIntyre. At this time, the board will hear any comments from the public. The public reminds you that oh, hold on, at this time, I would like to. Okay, the public is reminded that they may raise their hands to speak or submit comments in the chat section. You will have 3 minutes to address the board. Be sure to state your name and address before speaking. Stephen, is there anyone?
Nope, no chat section.
Chat section, right? Yeah, and here it is. We got some.
I got Stephen.
We have some right here. Do we have Kenny Downs? Carrie. Is that 2 hours? Yes, it is. Let's get it 2 N's. I'm sorry, Carrie. I don't know how I can mess that up.
Madam Chair, what was her name again?
Carrie Downs.
Carrie Downs?
Yes.
Yep, Carrie Downs. Good evening, FCS Board and Interim Superintendent Jones. I just wanted to share some additional information. That last board meeting went so long. You all put in some really intense hours, but I wanted to share a little bit more information from that presentation, so I thought I would use the 3 minutes. So last time we talked, I just reminded you, again, my name is Carrie Downs. I have the honor of serving as the director of the Flint Community Education Initiative as led by the Crim Fitness Foundation. We have 11 community school directors in the Flint Community Schools, serving students alongside all of our partners, doing some fantastic work, and I'm just honored to share some updates with you. Again, board, you received this packet previous to tonight, but I just wanted to highlight a few things. One quote from a parent who was speaking about the services that our partners are providing at their child's school, and she said, "My son's attitude and behavior has always been an issue. The after-school team has been doing such a great job. I'm starting to see changes at home and in class. He's able to do more activities and feel more a part of the school. He's building cars, going on field trips, and trying new sports. All this is making him a better person." Again, that's from a parent from Freeman. Her child participates in robotics, basketball, and soccer. Additionally, I wanted to highlight some of the expanded learning opportunities we've been providing students at the Flint Community Schools. Last year, we provided over 76,000 hours of programming to our students, serving nearly 2,000 students who attended at a 75% attendance rate. And we know when kids come to after-school programming at a 75% attendance rate, we know we're hitting a sweet spot for them enjoying participating. Additionally, for all of those programs, we offered 223 opportunities, really providing diverse programming and making sure that we are responding to student voice and choice and offering programs that they would enjoy after school. I do want to let you know when we're talking about those numbers, the percentage of Flint Community School students who participated in community ed last year, even when we are working virtually, 62% of the students were served by community education. That's all of the partners who are working so closely to make sure that we're serving alongside Flint Community School staff in making sure our kids get what they need to be successful. Another quote from a parent in regards to after school programming said, "It makes me feel good about the student said from Brownell, "It makes me feel good about myself and the program is real supportive." We highly value the voice of our students and parents. It guides our decision making and it lets us know whether or not we are successfully meeting their needs. Additionally, when we're speaking about after-school program, we know our goal is to make sure that we're creating an environment for students who want to come to school. And I'm pleased to report that 32% of the students who were attending at a 75% attendance rate were not chronically absent for the school day. So we know when we provide programming after school that the kids enjoy, they are more apt to come to school on a regular basis. Another great quote from a student who participated in our summer family recreation program. And specifically, this was a student who came out to do kayaking with us in the summer. And the student said, Flint Community Education Initiative programming helped me by having a break from home. When we think about how isolated so many of our students have been over the last 20 months, having a break from home and having an opportunity for free programming, and students who maybe have not even tried kayaking before, and having that opportunity is a big deal. Another quote from an ALA student said, Flint CI helped me to see the true me. Also wanted to report to you that 293 non-FCS students participated in Flint CI programming last year. So 293 students who are not enrolled in Flint schools participated in our virtual programming, and that's an increase from the 2019 school year. We only had 160 students at the time. That tells us a few things. One, kids were looking for ways to connect to great activities, and we also consider this a great doorway for students to come back to the Flint schools and enroll in our schools. Additionally, some of the programming we do takes place during the school day. One thing that we take the lead on is success mentoring. Last year, 212 students participated in success mentoring. They received 415 hours of intervention, and we had a total of 1,981 total sessions for success mentoring. Thank you so much for your time tonight. It's an honor to work alongside you and partner with you in serving students, and I thank you for your time.
Were you finished saying what you had to say, ma'am?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
Were you done saying what you had to say?
No, I have a little bit more, but I want to honor your 3 minutes because I know that you have a very full agenda. I think later on in the evening at the next meeting, I'll be able to sign up for another 3 minutes, and I'll take that time then, if that's okay. Board President?
Thank you. That's fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
So much. We also have Mr. Hubert Roberts.
Thank you. My name is Hubert Naeem Roberts, 831 East 8th Street, Flint, Michigan. I'm part of a couple of programs. One is Involved Dads and Rites of Passage program that we are mentoring in area schools. I have a couple of packages I want to leave with you guys to make you guys aware of the work that we've been doing. 6 years before the COVID, we were in several schools where we greet the students at 5 local schools right now, and I want to encourage you guys to be a part of this wonderful thing where we are valuing our children when they get off the bus or cars and they're coming into the schools, and we work to value them and celebrate them and excite them to be responsible and encouraged about education. We also had a program called Men of Valor where we was walking the halls. That's something that we have been wanting to bring back, wanted to make you guys aware of that. A couple of points we want to make. We would like trades to be brought back as far as like green technology, home economics, metal, wood, and auto, and things like that. Also, we was hoping that we can get some schools built where we can bring our students back from the suburbs and bring them back into the city. And also, if we could consider stop outsourcing our teachers, you know, using EduStaff and Red Rover. If we can really get some teachers to buy back into our community, would be wonderful. Also, we need some Black history curriculum. It needs to be taught in our schools. It's not so much when we talk about American history. A lot of time American history exclude the Black experience, and it's not about CRT. And then in our experience, to some degree, a lot of the teachers, to some degree, really show no care or concern or love for many of our children. And I think that's something that I'm hoping the board would consider looking into as far as the type or the quality of teachers that is in front of these babies, which they are our future. So again, I have packages here. The secretary would like to get these. That way, everything is in writing, and then you guys can see our flyers as far as the work we've been doing in the school system. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Mr. Arthur Woodson, please.
Good evening, Arthur Woodson, 402 West Stewart Avenue. I just have a couple of things to address. We have a serious issue with mental health from the water crisis. I talked to people throughout the whole Genesee County area that in the schools, and one instance is Flushing. They said they never, ever seen so many kids from Flint with behavioral issues. How is it that we can see the behavioral issues, but we're not doing anything about it? I know people might get upset when I say that, so let me clear this up, right? Where is the data from all the kids from 2016 up to now, kids that was born in 2014 that was exposed to lead? U of M Cummings was supposed to have a program that traced the kids or tracked the kids from 0 to 12 years old. Where is that data? Kids going to juvenile, are they sending counselors over to the jails, like veteran court, right, for veterans with PTSD? They send counselors or case managers over to the jail once they know that it's a veteran that's locked up or detained or whatever you want to call it. And they evaluate them to see if they have some type of issues, and then they send them over to a veteran court. Why aren't we doing this for our kids? They building juvenile home, a brand new $20 million juvenile home. Is that the center that they want to send our kids to? We talk about prison to pipe, school to pipeline, prison, whatever. That's it right there. But no one is really checking on the kids. No one. I mean, can I FOIA this data from the school district? And you know what was so upsetting to me is when I was speaking to Eric Oswald on our communication meeting 2 weeks ago, and I asked him, was he checking the water here at the school building? He said that the former superintendent told him not to do it. They don't want his assistance. We can't even find a test result for the school systems since 2018-19. And I know my 3 minutes is up, so we need to start checking our kids and really getting data, because that lead poisoning was generational. It wasn't just for those couple of years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Woodson. Okay, at this time, I will call upon Ms. Rubin for our personnel recommendations. Is that what we are? Does she look at shocked already? Human Resource Committee, yep. Human Resources, Ms. Georgina Rubin.
This is the cow.
That's okay.
Thank you. So I would like to call the Human Resources Committee of the whole meeting to order. And I'll call upon Ms. Rubin to present action items to the board. Ms. Rubin.
Good evening.
I tried to be as prepared as possible and prepare myself into the next meeting. I seek a motion and a second to move action item 1.10, personnel recommendations, to the regular board meeting tonight for adoption.
Support.
It has been properly moved in second. Is there any discussion?
And I'm making
President.
sure because you already know. So we got Miss Brandy Fisher and Luis Vescanino.
Viscano?
Okay, and then we got this,
Viscano?
So we took, we're just making sure we're together on this, and then the other two recommendations or our resignations.
Yes.
Okay, and that's Mr. Sean Millos. I don't want to be messing up here. And Wanda Baden. And those are all the recommendations for personnel?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure, ma'am. That's it for me.
That's it. Is there any other discussion? All right, seeing none, the motion to move action item 1.10 to the regular meeting for adoption will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please reply yes or no. Ms. McIntosh?
Yes.
Dr. McNeil? Don't see her. Ms. McIntyre? I do not see her. Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes,
And myself, yes. The motion passes, excuse me, 5 yes, and 2 people are absent. Please continue, Ms. Rubin.
Thank you. I seek a motion to move action item 1.11, approval of healthcare services, contracts and agreements to the regular board meeting tonight for adoption.
So moved.
Support.
It has been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll take the roll call vote. Ms. McIntosh,
Yes.
Dr. McNeil, Ms. McIntyre, Ms. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert,
yes,
and myself, yes. The motion passes 5 yes, 0 no. Please continue, Ms. Rubin.
I seek a motion and a second to move action item 1.12, approval to adopt letter of agreement with SEIU to the regular board meeting tonight for adoption.
So moved. Oh,
Second.
It has been properly moved and second. Is there any discussion? Any discussion?
And this piece is solely for their, for them to reap their FMLA benefits and,
Yes, because we have a large group of parapros that work under 40 hours. The highest hours that they work is 37.5. So they would never make the 1250. So this is so that our FMLA carrier will adjust that and still consider them eligible.
awesome.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, yes, thank you. Roll call, please. Ms. McIntosh,
Yes.
Dr. McNeil, Ms. McIntyre, Ms. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
yes.
Mr. Gilbert,
yes,
and myself, yes. The motion passes 5 yes, 0 no. Seeing no further action, I declare the Human Resources Committee of the Whole meeting adjourned. I now turn to the floor over to the treasurer for the Finance and Operations Committee of the Whole portion of the agenda.
I would like to call to the, before us, Ms. Don Prey to give us the financial side of the meeting, and I will do this portion for Ms. Loris in her absence. Good afternoon or good evening, Ms. Don Prey. How are you today?
Good evening. I'm doing well, and yourself?
Wonderful.
You can just go?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I seek a motion and a second to move action item 12.6, authorization to extend the snow removal services to the board meeting tonight.
So moved.
Seconded. It is, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I shouldn't have seconded that. I forgot I was chairing it
I'll
quick.
second. Yeah.
Thank you. It has been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
I just have a quick one. So this is Ace Outdoor Services, and we already have an existing contract with them for like the spring and summertime for our lawn removal. Has there ever been any conversation about combining just to have one contract that covers their breadth of services that they do for our school district?
What we plan to do is in January, correct me if I'm wrong, to go out to bid for all of our services for both snow, salt, and lawn care. And at that time, we can explore that idea.
Madam Chair? Yes. Is that for all the schools or just certain ones?
So
The ones that are open?
snow removals for all the open schools.
All the open schools. Thank you.
Welcome.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing there is none, at this time, we'll take a roll call vote to move this action item to the next meeting's agenda. As I call your name, signify by saying yes or no. Yes to move it or no not to move it. Mr. Del Marone,
Yes.
Pastor Gilbert,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Vice President Green. Yes. And myself is a yes, and the motion passes 5 yes, 2 absent. Proceed, Ms. Dunphy.
I seek a motion and a second to move action item 12.7, approval of authorization to extend salting services to the regular board meeting tonight for adoption.
Second.
Okay, is there any questions? No questions? So we just did a external moving. Okay, so this is to get the salt now. Okay, so 2 different items. So seems like that could have been one, because we can't get the service without the salt.
So last year, the salting services, last year, we bought our salt ourselves.
Okay.
And then they provided the services. This year, we're doing it all together.
Okay, all right. I'm looking at that. I'm like, now, wait a minute. Are we double voting? Okay, so thanks for clearing that up. Mr. Del Marone.
Have we ever thought of combining the purchase with other school districts or municipalities to get a lower price because there'd be more volume?
This is something that we can consider. I can't answer that question for you since I've only been here for 2 years. This is my first contract I'm bringing forward. So with us going out to bid, we can explore that as well.
Maybe moving forward. I know the city of Flint works with other municipalities to lower the cost.
Yeah, we can explore that.
And Mr. Del Marone, at one point, we did have some type of hookup with the city. That you remember that, Danny? And I don't remember the terms of that, but we can possibly have the administration looking to revisiting that for us.
Very good, thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing there is none at this time, I'd like to take a roll call vote to accept the thought contract. Yay for yes and nay for no. Mr. Del Marone? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Pastor Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Vice President Green?
Yes.
And it's a yes for myself. Thank you. Okay, at this time, we will have our information portion of our meeting. No, not yet. Okay, on a skip. No, we won't. Excuse me. I'm sorry, at this time, we'll have academics, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Vice President Green.
I would like to call the Academics Committee of the Whole meeting to order. I will now call on Ms. Murphy to present items to the board. Hi, Ms. Murphy.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I seek a motion and a second to move action item 25.19, authorization to award RFP 22005, learning support virtual services to the regular board meeting tonight for adoption.
So moved.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? President McIntosh.
Yes, exactly. What kind of learning support are we speaking of? You said virtual services, and I know we have several different virtual pieces, and we're not fluent in that. So can you give us a little?
I'll start, and then I brought the expert with me, Ms. Carroll, who is our Director of Learning Support Services. And really, I'm gonna just let you speak on this entire initiative. Okay.
Oh, they can't hear it because of the mask. Okay, Ms. Murphy. Okay.
And can you repeat exactly what you asked, because it was a little muffled?
Well, we're not exactly sure how this ties into our virtual learning, so we wanted you to just give us a little enlightening
Got it.
as it pertains to this piece.
So this is kind of two pieces. I think you've probably heard that we have numerous vacancies in the Learning Support Services Department. Many of them are certified vacancies, speech and language pathologists. We've done everything we could, posted, begged. We've got 3 different companies we do contracted services with at a similar cost with live bodies, but they still can't fill capacity. So currently right now, we have like 5 vacancies for speech and language, 5 for social work. So these would be children who are actually in attendance live, and also for our students who are on our virtual platform. And these companies provide a whole virtual platform, so the students would be taken with either a parent or somebody into like a small group setting, and they would get their speech services via teletherapy, so that way we're compliant with the state of Michigan. Right now, that would be an issue if we're not servicing the students. It's required. So this is our only idea we've come up with. This opens our candidate pool. So by being virtual, instead of just people who could drive to Flint, we can have a speech therapist who might live in Ohio. And as long as they're certified here, so they're not candidates that would have to, it increases our candidate pool immensely.
Is that it?
Am I chair? You chair.
No, I'm chairing, but
Right,
is
okay.
that?
I'm tangled up, honey. Okay. Now, I did want to ask this though, because we're having a hiring fair. So I'm wondering, are we prematurely filling these spots before we have our hiring fair? Should we give our people right here so we ain't got to tune into Ohio? Because it might be a speech pathologist that didn't know we were looking for someone.
One thing that we wrote in the executive summary is that our preference is always to have live people here in the district. We will never take down those postings until we fill all of the vacancies that are in the Learning Support Services Department. So these contracts don't lock us in. They're as needed service. Okay. So we can bring those services into the district as needed. So we have and are able to fill those vacancies that we have, which is our #1 preference. Then we would just tell that company, we no longer need that speech pathologist. So this is not, you must use X amount of service, but this is a net for us, a safety net to ensure we're in compliance. But our preference is always going to be to hire individuals to work directly for us and service our students in the building.
All right then, Miss Kiana. All right. That's it.
Is there any more discussion? Pastor Gilbert.
Is any of those individuals, do they have to be certified in any way?
Yes. They're all certified positions.
Thank you.
So in the board packet, it mentioned we have 48 vacancies. 48 out of how many positions?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I would have to go back and
No
count.
worries.
But certified positions, I believe I have about 75 total. So,
And then big picture, are we looking at what's happening in the county as it relates to, because it's a very competitive landscape, to benchmark what's happening in other school districts and to see what we can do to be a little bit more competitive on the recruiting front to get teachers here in person?
we have some plans in the works.
Okay.
I think the interim superintendent and Ms. Green had a highlight view yesterday in a meeting, but before we get those solidified, but yeah, we are looking at building a candidate pool of student teachers. That's our goal, to bring young candidates in.
Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, the motion to move action item 25.19 to the regular meeting for adoption, I will conduct the roll call vote. As I call your name, please reply yes or no to approve or deny. Myself is a yes. Ms. McIntyre is not here. Mr. Marone?
Yes.
Adrian Walker?
Yes.
Pastor Gilbert?
Yes.
Carol McIntosh?
Yes.
And Joyce McNeil is absent. Motion passes 5-0. Please continue, Ms. Murphy.
I seek a motion and a second to move action item 2520, authorization to purchase approved items from the MySTEM Playbook Grant to the full board for adoption tonight.
So moved.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? I have a question, Ms. Murphy.
Yes.
Can you just tell us what these consist of? What does this consist of that we're purchasing?
Most of it is STEM related. Well, all of it is STEM supplies for the students, the 9th through 12th grade students at Southwestern, to complete STEM activities. They are part of a network across the state. They did a competitive application in order to receive these funds to do project-based learning in their school. And so they create a framework that they share across their network. And so they had to do like a Shark Tank proposal, and they were one of the awardees. So it's all for supplies and materials for STEM-based, project-based learning activities.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Is there any more discussion? No. Seeing none, the motion to move action item 25.20 to the regular board meeting for adoption. I will conduct a roll call vote. As I call your name, say yes or no. Mr. Delmarone?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntyre, who's not here. Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Myself is yes. President McIntosh?
Yes.
And Joyce McNeil, who's absent. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy and Ms. Carroll. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Seeing no further action, I declare the Academics Committee of the whole meeting adjourned. I'll now turn the floor over to President McIntosh for the rest of the agenda.
Okay, we will go right into our next meeting. At this time, it is 7:02, and this meeting is now adjourned. We will give you 10 minutes to use the restroom, board members, or get a drink. Does anybody need anything? I'm saying, does anybody need anything, a 5 or a 10 to use the restroom or get something to drink? Okay, we'll roll right into our next meeting then. All righty. Let me find my script and get organized now, y'all. This is all right. Back to my script. Oh, yeah. At this time, I'm going to do a roll call vote. As I call your name, signify by saying present. Vice President, Ms. Green?
Present.
Mr. Delmarone?
Present.
Pastor Gilbert?
Present.
Mr. Walker?
Present.
And myself, Carol McIntosh, I am present. Board members absent is Dr. Joyce Ellis McNeil and Ms. Laura McIntyre. At this time, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Just a second, let's get out. Okay. Bear with us, please. Okay, there we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, we'll take comments from the public. Is there any member from the public that would wish to speak at this time? Please come. Just 1 second. We got something going on with our administration, and then Ms. will get to you.
Are they talking to me?
Are they talking?
Yeah, they talking to me.
I'll go check it out.
Oh,
What happened to you? They don't start at 7:00. I know if we start early, we can get in trouble.
oh, okay. So we gotta hold off.
Okay, so our next meeting is scheduled for 7:30, so I think we want to be in compliance with the law. And as sad as that makes me, because I have to be at work at 6, we're going to do right and follow the laws and policies, and we're going to wait till 7:30. But don't be late, because we will be prompt. I'd like to call our regular board meeting to order. The time is 7:30. Hold on. Oh, that's the second one. Is that the first one? Okay.
We did the pledge,
Yeah, we did that.
communicate.
At this time, we'd like to take any comments from the public. Do we have any? We do have 2 comments from the public, so we'll receive them at this time. And first up, we have Mrs. Carrie Downs.
She's gonna wait to the end.
She gonna wait to the, okay, Ms. Downs says she'll wait to the end. Great. And we also have Lavera Shields. Thank you, Ms. Shields. When you step to the podium, can you state your name and address for the public record, ma'am? And you'll have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lavera Shields. My address 3462 Ridgecliff Drive, Flint, Michigan 48532. I'm here to present my financial education program today to the Flint Board of Education. Growing financially is a process. This course is designed to give students the knowledge to achieve the first step to building wealth. The course covers building good money habits, building a strong safety net, getting and keeping good credit, and it also comes with a plan. This course introduces students to the concept of overall financial wellness. After they complete the steps in the course, they will be able to successfully manage their finances as adults. Being an adult, going through the school system and not having a good financial background set me back, and I want to do better for for the next generation. So I wrote this program, and I hope that I can present this program. So I have a outline for you. I don't know if I can bring this up. This is my first meeting.
You can pass. Yes, thank you, Ms. Murphy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comments? Mr. Arthur Woodson? Excuse me.
I was hoping that the lady that was up there on the stage that was talking about learning support services. My question, because we fought GISD, and during a hearing last July, Lisa Hagel and her attorneys, the Formula Act 18, they said it was unfair, but it was unfair, but it was legal. But the judge found that it was unfair and illegal. My question is, have they sent that money over here? Has the state been sending money to fund us? Is IEPs up or down? Has GISD sent behavior counselors? And what else was it? It pays for teachers' aid.
Classroom support.
It's classroom support. Are they funding this? I'm not trying to fight with them or anything. I just want to know, because this was one of the reasons why we fought them at that time. And are they sending the money over here? Because we haven't heard anything else about it, and I would like to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Woodson. Is there any other public comments? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Theda Davis Henson. I stay at 1906 Park Forest Drive, Flint, Michigan. And I got some suggestions for the pandemic fund that the Flint School received. One, the maintenance, any sanitation procedure should be put in place. Indoor quality student facility, the HVA system, filter, puration, and air cleaning and heating system. I think that there should be a mental health and behavior intervention support program. The community could contact the community mental health provider. For staffing, professional staff should be training since this incident has occurred. Hiring support personnel such as nurses and counsel and social workers. Additional teachers, and it will reduce the class size for the teachers. Instructional and specialists and coaching to support leading and support learning as far as math, reading, and language. Provide additional after-school staff. Provide support to children with disability by assisting them with technology, professional development and training, and for intervention program. And finally, for the lost time and structure during the pandemic under finished learning, after-school programs can be implemented. Provide transportation for students who attend after-school programs and tutoring hours for students before and after school. And these are the programs that I'm suggesting that the funding helps to pay for.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any more public comments? Thank you. We'll move on with the next portion of our meeting. At this time, we will have the superintendent's communique.
Good evening, board. My name is Kevlin Jones. As interim superintendent, I will be sharing the board's communique for the evening. Our school community, scholars, families, teachers, and staff continue to show grace and resilience as we navigate the 2021-22 school year together. I want to especially thank our scholars and families who have maintained their focus on school attendance and participation. Our teachers remain dedicated to the growth of our scholars, whether that's academically, socially, or emotionally. We have been sharing an all-day, everyday approach to reinforce scholar engagement in the classroom. However, this mantra extends beyond our school walls. We want scholars to exhibit respect, responsibility, tenacity, creativity, and more throughout all aspects of their lives, every single day. We will continue to teach these virtues in the classroom, and we encourage our entire school community to join us in this commitment. I take a moment to appreciate all of our building leaders, principals, assistant principals, and all of the staff that continue to work with our scholars daily. With the holidays nearly upon us, there is much to be thankful for, and we are thrilled to once again partner with Sodexo Magic and the Magic Johnson Foundation to host the annual Holiday Hope event on November 20th at Northwestern High School. That's this Saturday. Our team is volunteering to put together and distribute care packages to families ahead of Thanksgiving. We have the honor of serving the people of Flint, both inside and outside the classroom. We will continue to do all that we can to support our school community, and as always, we are most thankful for all of you. As a school-wide update, you may have seen that the Genesee County Health Department announced it is lifting its mask mandate at schools. However, there will be no change. I repeat, there will be no change at Flint Community Schools. We will stay strong with our mask mandate as we do all that we can to protect our scholars, families, teachers, and staff. We will continue to monitor this situation and make changes when appropriate. We appreciate your understanding and support as we do what is best for our school community. As part of our commitment to scholars, we have been making progress on our 2-to-1 technology initiative, which provides scholars with one laptop that is kept at school and one that is sent home with them. At this time, there is no plan to switch to virtual learning. Instead, this initiative will help maintain and continue a continuity, of learning if a scholar needs to be out of the classroom for any reason, including quarantine or snow days. With the colder weather upon us, we know that snowy days are in our future. While scholars love snow days, we need to maintain our focus on their education and intentionally utilize our time with them. This change will allow us to stay on schedule for the rest of the school year. As you can imagine, procuring laptops for scholars 2-to-1 currently is a supply problem. We will continue to roll this out over the coming weeks as we work with our procurement partners to get laptops and hotspots. Having served as interim superintendent for the past few months, I am confident that the transition we are currently undergoing will be seamless and avoid disruptions for our school community. Our entire team is dedicated to providing our community's children with a safe learning environment. As we look ahead to the future of Flint schools, I am thrilled to work with a variety of community partners, including the Mott Foundation, on what is to come. To that end, we are working with our Community Relations Committee and our Advisory Committee on Flint-based partners, community leaders, and advisors to create a plan for a new Flint community schools, buildings, renovations, and again, ESSER funds. The next chapter of Flint Community Schools is being written by this board and our school stakeholders. We cannot wait to share more details as we continue to do what is best for all of our scholars. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Superintendent. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. I appreciate you as usual. Just more information on Saturday. Is it somewhere parents need to sign up? Is it something they need to do ahead of time, or do they just show up, and what's the time?
So all of our families have we've given out vouchers to our families already.
Okay.
We worked with our parent facilitators.
Okay.
Ms. Murphy has worked with them to ensure that vouchers were given out to our families.
Okay.
That was already done,
Great.
and it's already set and ready to go.
What time you want me there? What time, so I can help volunteer, me and Mr. Woodson?
So volunteers are asked to be present at 6 a.m.
6 a.m.?
Yes.
He'll be there at 6. I'll be a little.
6 a.m.
Okay, so the event is from what
Please
time to
make
what
sure
time?
Mr. Woodson is there. Thank you.
Absolutely. What time to what time is the event?
So there's two portions to that event.
Okay.
I know that some of us are going to be there a little bit earlier than that, like 5:30, but they've already put a volunteer pool together.
Okay.
But I will never turn anyone down
Absolutely.
to be there to support, because you never know who's going to show,
Right.
who's not. So I would say come in at 6.
Okay.
We'll figure out where we should put extra folks
Okay.
in order to support the day.
Thank
Okay?
you. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Awesome.
Any other questions? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Do we have a timeline for the building study as to, their conditions? I think that was going on. And then I have one other one.
So as Treasury spoke yesterday, we're going to be talking about the audit that was given with Plant Moran, but we also have the Plant Moran Cressa, the utilization that they already have completed. So that conversation is going to have to happen with the board. That is a future conversation. We had some conversations in our Community Relations Committee, but we're going to have further conversations on what buildings, and I think it kind of meshes together with hearing our responsibilities as it pertains to our finances, and also determining how we're going to move forward as it pertains to renovating and building new buildings. So that is all a meshed conversation that we're having currently. We met Monday. Was it Monday? Okay, we met Monday and started those conversations in the Community Relations Committee. So to try to answer you in simple terms, we just have to keep having that conversation, and the board is going to have to make decisions on what buildings that we're going to keep open and what buildings we're going to close.
Okay. My other question is, we've had, I'll say, several incidences at our schools. Do we know what's going on? Are students feeling safe, the parents?
So I understand the community worry. As we've stated to some of our board members before, we're meeting tomorrow with the building leadership. Not only are we going to be meeting with the building leadership, but we're going to be talking to scholars as well, and as well as our teachers, to talk about restorative circles and practices, ensuring that we are preventative, but we're also restoring after circumstances take place, or situations, take place in the school. We are involved now, and when I say now, I mean we're taking a deeper dive as an administration to support what is going on at Southwestern or any of our schools at this time. Restorative practices need to be an everyday thing in our school district, and we need to figure out better ways to handle our school environment.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If I can, I just wanted to commend that, again, I know that you mentioned the county making the decision about the mask piece, but I want to commend you for reinforcing that we're going to continue to keep our mask on, because I know that's a concern in our school district as it related to what was going to happen in lieu of that decision. Sure. So definitely want to commend you for that.
And I will add to that, today we met with the health community that's been working with us since the pandemic started, and we have been talking about the outbreaks that's happening now, and what are we going to do as a school district to determine at what point do we shut a classroom down, at what point do we shut a school down because of the outbreaks. So we have some things coming to you. I'm going to be emailing that out to you once we put that plan on paper. We're very excited to say that we do have a plan. And so I want to make sure that that meeting was fresh. Also with that, we've been talking about the 100 employee vaccination piece, and that's coming upon us, that it's going to be that our employees are going to have to be vaccinated. It's coming upon us. It's in stay right now with the order. The order is in stay. However, it is coming. And so what we're going to start doing as of tomorrow, as a district, we are going to start finding out who's vaccinated and who is not. Since it's coming, there's a December 6th deadline that's coming up. If they do not stay the order, we will have to turn that information in to the health department. So we are going to go ahead and be proactive and start gathering that information. I can't make a staff member give me that information right now, but we're going to do our very best to gather as much as we can, and then we're going to be ready for that deadline.
Go ahead, Ms. Green.
So just a quick question just came to me. The distribution of the laptops or that are going home, the tablets or whatever they call it, they're going home. We're distributing them presently, or?
So most of our schools, and I would say 9 out of 11, Kiana, correct me if I'm wrong, almost 9 out of 11 have already started and is working, up to 50 to 70% gone. The problem is parents coming to get them. And so we have had a conversation today, just like we went out and walked to try to get scholars back, we might have to go out in the street to make sure that they have those laptops. Because if something happens to where we have to shut a classroom down, scholars must be online 6 hours. We cannot do what we did last year. Let me repeat that to our public. We cannot be on for 3 hours. We must be on distance learning for 6 full hours. And so we have to have them ready. And if families are not picking up their laptops, we're going to have to get those laptops to them.
So the ones who may hear this, what would they do to get the tablets for their
They can
children?
just show up at the school
Show up
and
at
say
the
that
school.
I need my child's laptop
Show
any
up at
day
the
of the
school.
week.
We need these laptops.
That's
Okay,
right.
Show up at the school.
Show up at the school any day of the week to get your child's laptop during
Okay.
school hours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Superintendent Jones, do we have a particular staff, people that look at this on a consistent basis on this thing of the mask and the staff not being vaccinated?
Absolutely. Now, as it pertains to staff not being vaccinated, that is not something that we
Yes.
currently can do.
Because of the
But we ha-
privacy part of it?
Yes,
Yeah,
we have
okay.
MAs and our medical assistants in our building that work with the schools as it pertains to COVID-19, and they investigate each situation as it pertains to that, and they turn those numbers into the district, and the district then put those numbers on the website so that we're current every day.
So it is on the website?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Is there any other questions? Okay, at this time, before we go into our script, I'd like to move that we name Mr. Kevlin Jones our new superintendent to finish out our old superintendent's contract.
So moved. Oh, not yet.
Go ahead.
So moved.
Support.
It has been moved and properly supported. Is there any discussion? Mr. Del Marone?
When did the former superintendent's, what's her expiration date?
She resigned. She
But-
gave her serve.
The term that he's going to fill until?
I think she has like another maybe year and a half on her contract, but I do have her contract. I don't have those dates before me, but I will email you and let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, Georgina, would you like to speak to that? Do you have that information? Okay, we'll give Miss Georgina a chance to pull out her laptop. Is there any further discussion on the topic? And the reason we like to do this is because you can't leave your superintendent spot vacant for too long. You have a time frame that you have to fill that. Also, I wouldn't dream of overlooking Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones has been instrumental in keeping us alive. I don't know how we would have made it without him. I think it would be downright rude and disrespectful to disregard the service that he has rendered to this district in our time of need. So I would definitely want him to be able to operate in full capacity. When you're the superintendent, then there's a certain level of respect and willingness for people to work with you. And I want Mr. Jones to have all of that working for him as he moves forward for our district and trying to navigate us through this tough time. So we wouldn't want to hold him back with titles and things like that when he's actually doing the job. So that is why I'm bringing this motion before you on tonight. Any further discussion? Go ahead, Ms. Green.
No, I just want to say, this roller, oh, I'm sorry. Okay. This roller coaster ride that we've been on, thank you for holding on tight, not letting go, because the district needs you, the students need you, and I appreciate you.
Madam Chair, to Superintendent Jones, I've only been here a short time, but I watched you closely, and I think that your heart's in the right place, and that's important. And sometimes you have to be in the fire to know what really comes forth and shines the brightest. And you have shined very bright on the behalf of this city, and I think that you deserve the chance to take the district and the board together, that we can go in the direction for the children, for the scholars. And so anything that I can do, you just let me know.
Is there any further comments with the board? Mr. Del Marone?
Mr. Jones, I'm in your corner. I want you to know that. My concern is about process. So we're appointing him tonight as superintendent, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have to post that as a job opening? And So there's no difference than if we were to do interim superintendent or superintendent. There's no posting this, we can just do that. All right, very good, thank you.
Is there any? Pardon me, Ms. Green? Oh, she's on her, Mr. Walker.
Again, since I've been on the board, Mr. Jones has just been a huge help for getting me acclimated, and I think he's just been an amazing ambassador for our school district. So excited about you continuing to be in this capacity and just moving our district forward.
And so with that being said, we're going to get the legal details worked out with our legal people to make sure that he is totally solidified in his position. We want him to get everything that is owed to him because he's done the work. And so with that being said, we're going to wrap up and we're going to take our vote. And don't you get to crying over here. He's so wonderful, and he has such a tender heart. But anyway, at this time, we're going to take our roll call vote. And as I call your name, signify by saying yes to accept or no if you don't accept. And Ms. Green won't even let me say her name. Ms. Green.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chris Del Maroney.
Yes.
Pastor Gilbert.
Yes.
Mr. Adrian Walker.
Yes.
And it is an absolute, positive, absolutely yes for me. So there we have our new superintendent, Mr. Kevin Jones. All right, Flint. And I think we have a winning team. Definitely we have a winning leader, and he has compassion for our district and other human beings. He is so kind, and I'm just excited to see what he's going to do for our district. I have the utmost faith and confidence in his ability to lead us. So thank you so much. So now, at this time, we'll move forward because we want to get out of here at a decent time, and I see that opportunity, so we'll dive into our new business. Board members, I would like to make a motion to move all the action items in batch. That's
Support.
It has been moved and properly seconded. As I call your name, is there any discussion? As I call your name, signify by saying yes to accept or no not to accept and move all these items in batch. Mr. Chris Del Maroney.
Yes.
Pastor Gilbert.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Ms. Green.
Yes.
And myself is a yes for me. The motion passes 5 yes, 2 absent. It has been moved to properly say, okay, I did the part. Okay, and we voted on the motion, but let me see. Yeah, we did that. Okay, I seek a motion and a second to approve action items 1.10 through 1.12, 12.6 and 12.7, 25.19 and 25.20 in batch.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing there is none, as I call your name, signify by saying yes to accept or no not to accept. Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Chris Del Maroney?
Yes.
Pastor Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
And myself, it is a yes, and the motion passes 5 yes. We got 2 people absent. All righty, we're moving right along. Next, board members, in your packet is information reports 12.18 through 12.21. Does any board members have any questions on these reports? And let me ask you, Ms. Dunpray, we don't need to take action on this. This is just information, right? Okay, so after this, we can adjourn? Okay, that's what I thought. So, no?
Public comment.
Oh, and yes, public comments. So is there any discussion on these items that I listed or called to you? Seeing there is none, at this time, we will open it back up for public comments, and I know we have Mr. Arthur Woodson. Is there anybody else from the public who would like to speak? Ms. Carrie Downs, can you please approach the podium? That's fine, that's fine.
What a pleasure it is to be here tonight. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Carrie Downs. I have the honor of serving as the director of the Flint Community Education Initiative as led by the Creme Fitness Foundation. Our office is housed at 452 South Saginaw. I would like now for this 3 minutes to share with you upcoming events that we'll be hosting throughout the district. Nethercutt will be hosting a Thankful Thursday Family Fun Night. They're doing a drive-in movie in the school parking lot. There'll be food and fun and a pop-up movie screen that families can safely watch from their vehicles. That is on November 18th from 5 to 7:30. DTM is hosting a December pre-holiday food giveaway and resource fair. Flint Fresh Food Boxes and Community Resources for DTM Dragon families will be hosted. That's on December 11th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Potter has 2 upcoming events. The first one is a family movie day that's taking place on November 20th, this Saturday, from 11 a.m. to 12:30. And then Potter's also hosting a holiday celebration, a parent and child together time activity, and they'll spend quality time with one another. That has to be through RSVP. They can check the Facebook page for Potter for that, and that's on December 10th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. At ALA, they'll be hosting Painting with Parents, an all-star. It's an opportunity for parents to come out and de-stress through art. They'll have a painter, instructor, dinner, and music and fun, and that's taking place on November 18th, tomorrow. Brownell is hosting a fall ball. This event is being hosted to recognize students for athletic achievement, academic achievement, and other areas of success for the months of August through October. That's taking place on November 23rd from 4 to 7 p.m. Doyle Ryder is doing a turkey giveaway. They'll be giving out turkeys to 142 families and gift cards as well, and that's taking place on the 18th. And I'm super excited about the work that Flint Schools is doing in partnership with Sodexo when they do the food distribution on the 20th, but we always know that we can't reach every single family, so oftentimes these drive-through events are very helpful. Additionally, I just want to highlight coming up this month that Freeman will be unveiling their book vending machine where students can earn tokens to purchase books out of a vending machine right at the school, and that was through an innovation grant fund. Additionally, Eisenhower is hosting an autumn harvest giveaway at Hallwood Plaza on 11/20, and that's from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. I'm super excited to let you know that our elementary school basketball season games begin on December 4th. Students have already begun practicing at our sites, but we are still keeping our registration open so we can serve as many students as possible. And again, the games will begin on December 4th. Those competitions are for kindergarten through 6th grade, so we're so excited to be able to offer Crim Sports Basketball Leagues. And to get more information about that, you can follow us on Flint Community Ed on our Facebook page. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic evening.
Ms. Downs, are you done?
For tonight, I am, yes.
Okay. We have a question from you, Ms. Downs.
Carrie, how are you?
I'm good. Ms. Danielle, how are you doing?
Good. Question about the giveaway and for the gift cards and turkey for Doyle Ryder. Are you doing it at Doyle Ryder, or where would it be done at?
I believe they're doing it at Potter. I can confirm that for you.
Okay.
But I'm sure that they're putting things on the Facebook page, but I'll try and update, and I'll send you an email if you want to get that information out.
Yeah, please. I appreciate it. Thank you.
But I know Community School Director Bush is being very intentional about serving as many families as it can.
Okay.
In partnership with the vouchers that Flint Schools has already distributed for the great giveaway that they're doing, the Holiday Hope giveaway this Saturday.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you, ma'am. Is Mr. Woodson? All right, let's wrap it up. Oh, Miss Georgina's up here. She must got something to say. Okay.
Good evening. Congratulations, Superintendent Jones. We got 2 pastors on the boards. Oh, good Lord. I'm just joking with you. I'm just joking. Congratulations. You know, you've been out here doing some serious work, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the board, you know, and your staff and administration. I just see that the school district is making some serious moves, and you know, y'all moving forward, and I am so proud of you because y'all went to y'all training, y'all did y'all training, y'all came back, you know, energized, tired but energized, and I hate people volunteering me for stuff, but it's for a good cause, so I'm good with it. But we're never gonna agree all the time on everything, and we have to be respectful when someone's, you know, speaking on their opinion of what they disagree with, because y'all gonna see it from me, you know, occasionally, because I can give you an example. I'm against vaccine mandate, and I'm gonna speak out against it, but I'm gonna respect you in a way to where I understand you and you understand me. I had the vaccination. I had 2 shots, but I'm still against it because I feel that no one should be forced to put anything in their body that they don't want. Just like no one should be forced, if a lady want to do something with her body, a man, because it's the majority of the men that making the laws, telling her that she can't. I mean, that's just me. I'm pro-choice. I don't believe that the government should be able to tell me what I can and can't do with my body. And that's why I'm against it. The mask, hey, I'm with that because you have people with underlying illnesses and, you know, they can be spreaded and their lives are in jeopardy. And this being a public school, you know, you have people coming in and, you know, that's something that I'm for. But I want to congratulate you, Superintendent Jones. I want to congratulate the board for doing a beautiful job, the administration. I can't think of her name, that's doing the ESSER funds. Just listening to her talking about that December the 15th deadline, and she said, I'm gonna have it done. You know, I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Woodson. And with that being said, I'd like to just give the information that Mr. Kevin Jones's contract holds through June 30th of 2023. So he will be with us at least that long and hopefully much longer, but that's going to be our first run.
Madam Chair, say that again. What did you say?
The contract is through June 30th, 2023 to fulfill the contract. Did you have something you want to say, Mr. Walker?
Yeah, yep, I definitely do. So I just want to make sure that for tonight's meeting, we paid homage to someone we lost in our community, and that's Miss Bessie Schramm. Ms. Schramm passed away, I believe this past Sunday. She served in our school district for over 30 years. I believe she retired as a principal of Northwestern. I got a chance to know Ms. Schramm, not as my principal, but I attended Vernon Chapel, where she attended. And her same saying that she used in the schools in terms of it only takes you, a second to get in trouble, but a lifetime to get out. So I just wanted to make sure that we just pay homage to her, right? She's a pillar in this community.
So this is what we'll do. We're going to give a moment of silence. Stephen, can you give us what we're going to do, a minute or 30 seconds? Because I don't know what's appropriate, but we do want to recognize her for 30 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
As soon as Stephen gets it on the board, we'll start. And he hasn't gotten it up there yet, so you guys wait so you won't have to be so. We're sorry, Stephen. We didn't see it coming. We'd have forewarned you. Thank you. No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and at this time, I have something I had to wrap up with. I'd like to say thank you to our administration for working so hard on our packet. Thank you to Ms. Pam. We couldn't have done it without you guys. And I think it went awesome considering how we came out the clutch. It went pretty smooth. So at this time, we're going to wrap this up, and the time is 8:10, and this meeting is adjourned.